Now I want us to do a little more work with drawing conclusions now that we've listened to our read aloud. So what I want you to think about first is, what do you already know about taxes? So a pretty big part of this story was all about taxes. So taxes is money that you have to pay when you buy something. So when you buy clothes, when you buy a house, when you buy a car, there's this money that's called a tax that's added on to the cost of that. And that tax goes to help different things. So your parents pay taxes every year, and those taxes, that money goes to the government, and that helps the government do different things for the city. Okay, so lots of taxes. So if you know anything else about taxes or want to write down what I kind of just said, go ahead and tell me what you know about taxes here. Okay, pause the video, tell me what you know about taxes, and then come on back. Now that you've thought about taxes, I want you to follow along as I read here with you. Good readers think about details in a story that help draw conclusions about the characters and events. Sometimes stories contain clues that help the reader figure out details that the author does not tell them. And that's what drawing conclusions is all about. Coming up with your own details that we can figure out from the story, but that the author didn't come right out and tell us. So I'm wondering if we can come up with a conclusion about the king. Now, we heard a lot about the king, right? And how he sent that tax collector and that soldier out around the town to collect taxes and to arrest anyone who wasn't paying their taxes. But I also heard the tax collector say that the king would never arrest someone who wasn't able to pay because they didn't have enough money. So I wonder what conclusion we can draw. Now, the king must be pretty powerful. Do you agree with me? He must be pretty powerful because he can get those taxes. He can arrest people. He has a lot of power. So that's the first conclusion I'm going to draw about the king. So let's write that down together. He is very powerful. Do you think the king is mean, though? Do you think he's going to do something that he knows is wrong? I don't think so. I don't think he would, because they told us that he wouldn't arrest someone who simply didn't have the money to pay his taxes. So I think a good conclusion is he is very powerful, but he's also very understanding, don't you think? So let's add that. He is very powerful, but also understanding. Now, the tax collector and the soldier kind of go together, don't they? So let's try to come up with one conclusion we can draw about what type of people, what kind of characters the tax collector and the soldiers are. Now, they came to do their job, right? They came to arrest the farmer. They're doing what the king told them to do. So I think they're pretty hard workers because they're told to do something and that's what they do. So since I'm only writing one, I'm going to use the pronoun they instead of he, okay? This is going to be my answer for both my tax collector and my soldier. They are hardworking. They do their job, right? But did they arrest him even though he didn't have the money, he said? Nope. I think they were pretty nice, weren't they? And they also kind of felt sorry for the farmer, and that's why they didn't arrest him. So they are hardworking, but they also felt sorry for the farmer. Now, we also know that they felt sorry for the farmer. Remember at the beginning of the story, they explained how they had red cheeks and they were looking down. So they really couldn't look him in the face. They were kind of embarrassed. Their cheeks were getting red. That's how you knew that they felt so bad that they were doing this to the farmer. Now, here's your job today. I'm wondering if you can come up with an idea about the farmer and about the horse. So can you draw your own conclusion about the farmer? Something we haven't heard yet, something the author didn't come right out and tell us. But I want you thinking about the story he told. And then what do you think about the horse? What do you think with the horse being able to talk and to lay eggs and have wool? What is a conclusion we could draw about the horse? That's your job, is just to see what you can come up with today. Okay?